Welcome to City Skylines After Dark. Now this is going to be a short series on using the map editor. It's a kind of introduction to my main objective, which is to do another Let's Play on building a city that will have a population of 250,000 and have all the unique buildings and everything features in there. We're going to try and build everything onto this map. So originally I was going to just use a standard map from the vanilla game, but I thought, well, why not? Let's do a custom map. Now, I'm going to be honest, I'm not particularly very good graphically. I'm more of a technical person. I mean, I work with software, so this is a bit of a challenge for me, and I thought, well, why not record it and create a little short series on the process, show that it can be done. So this is this first part. I'm just going to show how you can get terrain maps and how you can merge them to get an effect that suits your purpose. And as you can say, what I've done in this map is I've created a flat area and I've mounted these maps here. So I think we're just going to get down to it, and in this part we're just going to cover obtaining the terrain maps from the internet, merging them together to get an overall features, and I hope you're going to enjoy it actually. So let's get down to it, and what I'm going to do is take you to the next section. In the next section we're going to use a website called Terrain Party, which is very good for getting terrain. So here we go. We'll see you on the web page. Welcome to the Terrain Party website. Hopefully you'll be able to see this, because obviously I'm recording onto the desktop from the browser. So there. Now this is a website that somebody's very generously set up to provide worldwide coverage for terrain maps. You can see the quality does vary, as I will demonstrate later on. Now, for some reason it always seems to start up in Finland. I'm not sure why, but there. So, and the little square here represents effectively a City Skylines map. So it's very, very orientated towards City Skylines. Now, I'm going to have a quick confession in the sense that I've already worked out what I wanted to do, because I don't want to bore you guys with lots and lots of kind of me scrolling over the map looking for things. This is basically demonstrating to you guys how you can get terrain maps. So it's going to be fairly straight to the point. Now you've got this grid. Now the custom map I'm going to create is, I'm not going to reproduce the city. So sorry guys, if you live in Southampton, I'm not going to be building Southampton. It's just what I'm after is the estuary. Now on this up here you can see you can actually increase the size of the grid, so you don't actually do it. And I'm going to take this up to, I think it's about 50 square kilometers, because I want to capture quite a lot of the river estuary. So we're going to come out here, and what I'm going to do is just line up somewhere around there. You can see maybe just there. I just want to capture that in the estuary. Now what I want is the river coming up here, probably coming out a little bit too far. Maybe I need to come out there, line up. But basically what you do is you move around to choose there, to choose the area that you actually want to capture. Maybe I'll bring it down a bit further, and you can see you've got your inner 9 tiles, your outer 9, 5x5, and then you get the full extent of your 9x9. So you're just going to load there. You fiddle about. You've got different views. You can go to like this if you want to come in. You've got open street. So there's there. You have got two other options here which will be blank, because they're, as it says, USGS. shaded thing. And basically once you get it lined up here, you go to there and you just go to here, and it comes up with this window here. Type in what you want to do and then click OK, and then basically it downloads. I won't download it because it can take a little while, and I don't think you guys would appreciate recording. And I've already captured the file I want, and it is this area. I'm not going to suddenly spring on you another area. So that's going to be my main water feature. Now, if you're just going out to create a city, I mean, Skystorm has done a very good one of London using this, and if you're interested, it's his introduction to using this and the map editor is very, very good, and I highly recommend it. So there. So if you just want to come to Amsterdam, Paris, anywhere like that, that's fair dues. Now what I want is to actually create something totally custom map. So what I'm actually going to do, again, I've been here, I know where I'm going, which is Vancouver. And apologies guys if you live in Vancouver, I'm not actually going to build Vancouver either. What I'm after is your mountains. Now before I kind of go into there, I will demonstrate. See, if you're over the United States now, you've got this very, very good shadow map. You can see it cuts off on the, I presume, the US-Canadian border. But if around here, as I say, if you wanted to get some specific terrain, so you've got this one, and then you've got this one imagery, which is probably not quite so good. I think the other one is far better. That certainly gives you a really good idea of the terrain. We're going to go back to just the ordinary. I think I'd say you've got this view as well, which can help you because it's basically so you can kind of come in here. Maybe this would be quite good to actually do it on. Actually, you don't get this, by the way. It's just the map. Now, what I'm looking for is I want to capture the mountains at the top here. And what I'm looking for is to have this inner 9 probably come in a bit further. Because what I'm after is the mountains, but I want the mountains to be in the non-buildable map, mainly as a feature, because what I'm looking for is to be able to create a dam, which was the one thing that was missing from my first Let's Play, in the sense that I couldn't build a dam, so I couldn't build all the features. That was a slight mistake considering my objectives, but to be honest, I didn't realise that when I started it, and I wanted to follow it through. But we're going to try and remedy that this time. So what we're going to do is just maybe come in a bit further. Just fiddle around, because remember this bit will be part of the map, so just maybe coming across a lot further, actually, something like that. I don't really want the bay. Yeah, so maybe about there. So we just flip back to the, I think this might be a slightly better one to, so that's 1, 2, so we got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Maybe that's a bit too high. Maybe that's around there. So what I'm after is to capture these mountains, a little bit of this mountain. So we've got some mountains in the top, and you can see this will give me some valleys to come in and a river down here. And you've got the, what was it called? Capobreno. Oh, it's disappeared. Can't read it, sorry, apologise. Oops, didn't mean to do that. Yeah, you've got to be a bit careful that if you want to scroll the map, don't scroll it inside the box. You've got to go to the edge. Just bring it down a little bit, maybe out a bit. So as you say, you can fiddle about with it to your heart's content. Same process again. Once you've got it done, just go over here. As I say, I won't just type in whatever you want, click OK, it will download. It puts it down in your downloads file on your machine. It comes down as a zip file, and within that you either get 0 to I think 4, depending on what part of the world you're in. Now if you get 0 and you're over somewhere like say Vancouver, somewhere which is well known for its geological surveying, sometimes the server does get a bit busy, so what you want to do is just give it a chance and then do it again. As I say, I won't do it because it does take a little while because the file's there, and say you get a zip file with the different terrain maps in. They're all in PNG format, so once you've got them you can just load them straight into Cities Skylines, which I will demonstrate in a minute. And basically that is all there is to it, and you can play for hours, to be honest. What you're getting here is the shortened version of the amount of time that I actually spent fiddling with this, trying to get the right mountains, and I've downloaded quite a few files from all over the world to get the one I actually wanted, and to be honest, Vancouver is the best one. So take your time, enjoy it, and what we're going to do now is, I think this is where I'm going to stop this bit, and the next bit I'm going to show you how you load these files into City Skylines, because obviously once you capture the terrain maps you just need to have a look at them to see what they're like and whether they serve the purposes. So that's where I'm going to leave it, and I will see you on the next part. Here we are. This is where you need to go into your downloads, unzip the files that came down from the website, and what you need to do then is, once you've unzipped them, you've got to, for it to become available to the map editor in City Skylines, you've got to put them in a special folder in here, and you can see the path above. It's computer C drive, that's my systems drive, users, that's my username for this account, app data, local, colossal orders, City Skylines, add-ons, map editor, height maps. And what you do is you drop them all in here, and then that will make it available for the map editor and City Skylines. I will include this in the description. Now the other thing that I found was that if you open this and there's no height maps folder created, it means you haven't created any maps at all. So what you want to do is, if you're going for it and it's your first time, what you want to do before you start downloading these is just to go in the map editor, create and save just a simple map, just load it up, just fiddle around with the tools, create and save it, and then what will actually happen is this folder will be created automatically, so that you don't have to create it yourself. So there, and that's all you got to do really, just to put it into City Skylines. Now I've put these into City Skylines as separate maps for demonstration purposes, also because it covers the next step in the process. So that's all there is to this. So I hope you've enjoyed this part. And what I'm going to do now is we're going to go to City Skylines and load the maps so I can show you what they are. So here we go. Well, here we are in City Skylines. Now if you haven't used the map editor before, you just need to go to click tools, map editor, and then you will get an option of new or load. Well, this is going to be new because we're just going to look at the terrain map, so I'm just going to click new. Then what you get is the theme. Now I'm going to do a European map, but to be honest, for the purposes of this little excerpt here, is we're not going to actually build the map. What I'm just going to do is click create. And then while it's loading, and here we are on the map. Now you can see we just done that. It's just a dead flat map with your standard 25 squares there. Tweet woke up. This is a reminder of what you need to do to complete the map. Now I'm not going to do any editing on this map. All I'm going to show you is what we do with the terrain maps. Now to get the height map in, you just come in here, export it. I'm just going to bring in south, that they've all got different qualities. So if we import this one, you can see this one's, to get rid of that you've got to do here. You can see that we've now got a picture of Southampton water. The map's a bit lumpy and bumpy, But if you go now, the downside is that you can only import the one map. You can't overlay them within here. You can see this version, it's a bit more detailed. It's got a little bit of, you know, the river's a bit more clearly defined. I think that's maybe better. And this one's a bit more not quite so good. Now the purpose I'm looking at these for is, and you've got the merged one as well, which is useful. I think that's probably a good compromise between the two. So I'll probably, for what you'll see here also is the water encroaching in here. So what you probably sometimes you've got to do is come here, drop the sea level down, because otherwise the water can flood right across your map. I think for this one, not sure. What do you think? I mean, it doesn't have to be thing, because what I'm really interested in is the shape of the estuary coming up here. I'm not worried about this bit up here. Maybe I will go with the merged. Yeah, I mean, it hasn't changed much anyway, so we're going to go with Southampton merge. I'm just going to make a note with that. Call it self merge. Now, what I'm going to do now is bring in the. This is the. Oh, that's horrible. This is the Vancouver map. Obviously, don't want that. Now, what I like about doing it this way, I know you can hand draw, and it's got a little bit of a ridge on it. Maybe the Astra map is. I think that's better, isn't it? Or maybe the merged. Let's have a quick look at the merged. See, you've got a nice level of detail. I mean, they look really. I mean, this is one of the reasons. You know, you've got mountains there. We've got a little bit of flattish terrain here, and a little bit of a knoll there. And we've got the central square there. So, is it going to be the merged or the? No, I don't like that. So, I actually quite like that Astra one. So we've now got, yeah, I think I'm gonna go with that. But what I would like is a few more mountains down here. Now, as I said, you can only have one or the other. So I'm not gonna edit anything on this map, because what I'm gonna do now is, as I say, if you're happy with that map and you want to build it, this is here. You're here now. You can start editing it. Say you wanted to recreate Vancouver. You've got a map here. Now, I would certainly recommend, if you look in here, there's no way you can build on this type of terrain. There's no point pretending that you can. You know, it's the details. Don't know. Yeah, I suppose the detail's good. Got a little bit, but I mean, it's going to need work. I mean, there's no way you can build on this map as it is, So that's the Astor one, isn't it? So let's have a look at the hills here. I'm not happy. Don't like these lines, to be honest. Let's just have a quick look at the merged. Maybe the merged is better. Sorry for distracting. So I'll just get rid of that so you can see what I'm doing. These flat areas are because the water on a terrain map shows as flat. So basically what you're seeing here is lakes, and if you remember the map of Vancouver, you've got a kind of a, this is a water coming in round here, so which I'm probably going to leave. So that's the next step. And as I say, if you just downloaded the map, this is where you'd start using your editing tools, but I will come back to there. But I'm going to show you a way to try and get the best of both worlds, because I can't. What I want to do now is try and merge the two maps together. So if you're only interested in the process as far as here, feel free to jump to the next video in this series where I'll start talking about editing the maps. If you're curious about what I'm up to, feel free to follow. And what I'll do is I will see you with the next step. Welcome to the next step in the process. Now, what we're going to do in here is use a graphics package to merge the mountains onto the estuary of Southampton Water. I'm using Photoshop, but any graphics package that supports layers, which allows the importation of files, can do it, because we're not going to do anything really magical. This is not going to be a massive tutorial on Photoshop or any graphics package. If you don't own a graphics package, there's a perfectly good graphics tool called GIMP out there on the internet. You can download it. It will have everything you need to do this. It's for a free tool. It's very, very sophisticated. So here we are. We've got the map. You can see the darkness of the estuary. The lighter colour represents height. The lighter the colour the is. So the first thing we're going to do is come up here. I've got the Vancouver height map here. I think we'll just use the merged one. So we're going to bring in here. You can see the height of the mountains here, the water, and this kind of quite low-lying area here. So what we're going to do is merge this onto that. So the first thing we've got to do is do a select all. This just highlights the area that's to be copied. You copy it, come into here, edit, oops, wrong one, and we've just pasted this in now. So what we've got effectively is this as a layer over the top, and you can see there. And the first thing you need to do is come down here, drop the opacity, so it means you can now see the Southampton Water underneath and quite a little bit of there. So to be honest, I've looked at this map and I think the mountains are a little bit too low. So what I'm actually going to do first is kind of pull them up a little bit, because remember the centre square's there, and I don't want to lose too much terrain there. So maybe just like that will do. And that's left me a fringe across the bottom. If I turn this off, you can see. Well, you can see I've actually kind of need a little bit of a steady hand. So we've now got this here, and the next thing is basically what we're going to do is just delete this top layer. So we need to make sure that layer is active, and I'm going to find the eraser tool. Now what you need is, don't use a hard brush. If you use a hard brush, I do a hard brush like this, you will see the very hard line, but you don't want that. What you actually want is a soft brush. Go here, 45, soft brush, make it a bit bigger, and what we're going to do is just quite literally come up here. You can see now, see where the hard line's gone. So we're just going to, this is low water in here. You can follow what you're doing here. If you turn off, I think now we've got the main estuary. I think what we can do now is just increase this up to maximum. Turn off the background. I can come in here and clean up the area. So I probably don't want this low lying area here. So bring this map back in again. So you can see, so if I kind of zoom in now, I can kind of come up here. Maybe I just want to preserve these river valleys a bit. Maybe take this up a little bit into the mountains. So we can just push up into there a little bit. Make the sidebar. Now down here, I don't particularly want these rivers. Oh, actually, maybe that's a bit too much. So just take off, bring this here, because this is quite low lying. So I want a bit of height. So just going to bring this in here. But at the same time, I want to keep that river for the moment. And you can see I've just come in here. And we've got a problem here. So what I'm going to do is just get the brush tool and I'll just put this water back in. So it doesn't have to be perfect, and there's a few piers there, so I'm just going to take those off as well, because this is obviously higher than this. This kind of gives a kind of coastal valley estuary, but I mean, if it doesn't work, we can always just fill it in. So what we're going to do now is go to here, do a save as if I can find it. Come here. I've already in the height maps for the map editor, so I'm going to do that. You've got to save it as a PNG. So I've already got the previous experimental one here, so got there, and we're just going to do a new city map. Save. You want to replace it? Yes. Okay. Interlaced. And that is all there is to it, guys. Nice and simple and straightforward. Obviously, you may need to, if you get it in that it doesn't look at anything at all like what you want, then you can come back, edit it, do it over again, fiddle about with it to your heart's content, and hopefully that gives you the idea. As I say, you can merge as many layers if you wanted. So if you wanted a nice big characteristic feature in a corner of your map, or an island, say you wanted to put an island here, you could just import an island in, or a mountaintop, drop it in there and merge it. So that's where I'm going to leave it, and I hope you will join me on the next step in the process, which is actually looking at this in City Skylines. Welcome to the City Skylines Map Editor. You can see we're in the default one. Hello Chirper, you can go away, we don't need you just at the moment. So we've got this area here, and what we're going to do is import the composite map that I created in Photoshop. So there we are, and you can see I think it's worked well. You've got the mountains in the background there. These flat areas is where the water was in the valleys. This coastline looks good. We've managed to capture the estuary. If I just, oops, don't want to do that. Just click that. I think this is probably show it better. You can see we've captured the estuary of Southampton Water, which will give us good access to shipping. We've got a bit of coastline along here, which the sea's coming in, so we better get out and reset the sea level before it swamps the map. If I set it to 10, as I say, water when you work on these maps takes time to take effect. So if I kind of just speed it up, you'll see the water rolling in. You can see the tidal wave effect here. So we've got, I think, the good beginnings of the custom map. You can see the non-buildable area around the outside, so we'll be able to kind of jazz that up. Most of the mountains are non-buildable, so we've got hopefully a kind of good background looking round. Yep, I'm happy with that. So we got a good skyline looking north of the mountains. This is going to be the starting tile. We've got the 9 round here. We've got enough terrain here. Probably build a gap in there. We've got the hint of a river here that probably can be taken out. So maybe we'd bring the river out and it would split, and another one would go up here to maybe up around here. Maybe bring this out as a ridge line and knock that back a bit, so we've got a river flowing through here. It could probably could come down from there. Or so yeah, we've got the beginnings of it, and with at the same time we've got a land bridge there for the roads and the rail, because I'm probably looking to bring a road in there, come down here, across maybe here, to provide a kind of a motorway access, because obviously we've got to provide motorway access there, and maybe take one off north through this valley here and shape it up. But that's for the future and the next part. I think this is all I need to do in this episode. I hope you've enjoyed the episode, and in fact I hope it's inspired you to have a look at doing your own custom maps. And if you've been intimidated by the process and thought, well, maybe I'm not, and if you're a bit like me who's slightly artistically challenged when it comes to shaping the terrain, you can see what I've done means you can get a very, very good effect. I mean, obviously we might have to smooth off some of this terrain to make it kind of look a bit better in the context of the map. So it goes to show that even if you're not a wonderful graphics person and you need some kind of interest and support, got a nice little river channel there which we could probably use, that it's still there, you can still do it. And so this is where I'm going to round off, and in the next part we're going to start the process of cutting out the key features. I'm going to show you a technique or a process that will help in that. So I think that's it, and hope you've enjoyed this part. Like and subscribe, and until the next time, enjoy your gaming.